guys are well. I am in the gardening vibes. It's gardening season here, but the weather here is terrible, guys. It's snowing outside. I can't believe it's snowing and we are in the minus again. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be patient. But anyways, this video is for you guys who've been asking me all kind of questions about gardening, like how do I garden, how to start garden, and you know, they want to grow their own little garden, but they don't have space and they're not too sure about the seeds they want to plant. They're not too sure about how to start on their patio, you know, and all that kind of stuff, because people ask me so many things about gardening. So I decided to just I'm gonna make a couple of videos about how to do gardening, different methods to show you guys, because I really want you guys to garden. And if you watch my video that says gardening saved us lots of money, you would understand what I mean. I mean, I garden in a small urban space for over 7 years, and the amount of money I save gardening, incredible. Okay, I saved so much money, like I told you guys, we were able to buy a second property just by like growing our own food. Really great. So I want you guys to start growing your own food and start growing a garden. Doesn't matter how small it is, because once you start something small and it is successful, you're gonna catch the gardening itch and you're gonna start gardening. Okay, so I made some notes here. If you guys see me looking at the notes that I made, because I don't want to miss anything out in this video for you guys. So right, so now you want to start a garden and you don't know where to start. Now I have a little bit advantage over you guys because I grew up in the Caribbean, and anybody in the Caribbean who have land, they garden. It's just a fact. They garden. We plant bananas, plantain, fruits, vegetables, anything and everything that we can plant, we plant it. We have cocoa, nutmeg, all that kind of stuff. We grow that because it's a tropical place and things just grow, and the soil is fertile and things grow. And we never had like this fancy compost bins and all kind of stuff. We had an area where we just throw all our stuff from the kitchen and then it will decompose, and we'll just go dig up soil there and put in our garden. Or we use cow manure or sheep manure, or we use a rabbit manure, stuff like that for our garden. Or we put banana leaves all over. We kind of do a mulching, and this is how our crops did excellent. And we use ashes, and we use some other Epsom salt in our garden. So different things we use to make our garden beautiful, you know. So all these fancy things that people are saying, oh, do this, do that, this is not new. This has been done a long time ago. They're just kind of making it a comeback and adding some fancy names onto it. But anyways, we didn't have all this fanciness. We just grow food basically with containers. If you didn't have like a lot of land, we had buckets, we had biscuit tins. I don't know if you guys in the Caribbean, there's this big biscuit tins that we have. We buy biscuits, and it is about 20 or 30 EC dollars, and when you finish eating all the biscuits, maybe months, for this biscuit tin lasts for months, and you just use that to cut it in half because it's big, it's tall, and then you grow your flowers on your step. We make clay pots, or people make wooden things. We use coconut shell. We use all kind of things to grow flowers and to grow food. So I just want to tell you guys that you can do that too. Now, you don't have to look at all these people and them on internet who have fancy beautiful garden, because trust me, they didn't start with a fancy beautiful garden. They start with something small, and as the years goes by, they progress, and then they have this big garden. So don't get overwhelmed. So if you want to grow a vegetable garden and some flowers, like a beginner, a starter garden, okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to have a little space. So if you're gonna grow on your patio, you know, say you have, okay, say example, my island here is your patio, and that's the space that you have. Decide on where the sun shines the most on your patio. So say like in the morning time when the sun comes up, it rises on that side, and say this is the right side of your patio, this is the left side, you know, the front, the middle. So if the sun comes up and it just shines all over your patio, you're like, okay, great, my patio gets sun all over. So you don't have to worry about that. You can plant anything there because your patio gets a lot of sun, so you don't have to worry. But if your patio, one part is shaded, one part is full sun, then certain things you're going to be able to plant on that side, and certain things you're going to be able to plant on that side. So you have established where the sun shines, because certain vegetables, and if you're going to plant little fruit trees like blueberry or something, they need like a lot of sun. So that's the first thing. If you have no sun, it's hard to grow any food or fruit or vegetable, because they're not going to do well. Maybe some flowers are going to do well, but not vegetables and fruit, because they need that sunshine. So the next thing you want to decide is what you want to eat. What kind of vegetables do you like? What things do you like to eat? Do you like lettuce? Do you like spinach? Do you like cauliflower? Do you like shallots? You know, what do you like to eat? You know, so you have to decide that. Do you like kale? So start with things that you love to eat. Do you like tomatoes? Start with things that you like to eat. And don't go crazy and go there buying all these containers and stuff, because if you have a little space, then you need to be wise when you're making your containers to grow your food. So decide on some cheap containers to start with. Like you can go to the dollar store and you can buy those containers for $1.25. They're big. You can plant multiple things inside of them. You can plant like lettuce, so that you can plant 2 varieties of lettuce in one container, you know, which is big enough. You know, you can plant celery, you can plant some flowers, you know, all those kind of stuff can go in one container. And they're just $1.25. You know, they look like mop buckets. You can use those buckets, or you can use those flat trays, like those white dollar store flat trays. They're excellent because you can plant a variety of things inside of them. It's $1.25. So invest in a cheap method to make containers for your garden. That's the next thing. Now the next thing you also want to do is to start your seeds. You want to invest in some very free reusable things. So when I started gardening, honestly guys, I didn't go crazy. What I did was I went on garbage day when it's recycling day, and I looked through people's recycling bins and I picked up containers like these ones. I got containers like these on people's recycling bin when they buy their vegetables and they just put it outside after they transplant them in their garden. I picked those up, and I free of cost, no charge. And then you could plant some of your little like basil. You could plant like coriander. They do well in pots like that. You don't have to worry about transplanting them. So if you have a small space. The next thing you want to think about is how you can grow vertical, because if you have a small space, you can grow vertically. You know, you can make like trellises and plant beans and stuff like that and grow upwards. You can make stands and put your plants on it and have a nice vegetable garden on your patio or on your little back balcony, like my mom. My mom has a beautiful garden on her balcony, and she's like 5 stories up, and it's just beautiful, and she gets lots of vegetables from it. But that's what she does. She grows vertically, she grows like that, and she does amazing. The next option is you can grow in terracotta pots. Now terracotta pots are very cheap. These ones are 99 cents, and look how big they are. I am growing some shallots in them. Look at this. I have 6 shallots in there, you know. So you can grow shallots here. Just join a Facebook seed swapping group, and then you can get seeds from them, and then you can say, well, I don't like these seeds. Oh, and the seeds were free. You just swap seeds, right? So you don't really have to worry about investing and wasting money if you don't like something, if something didn't turn out well, or if you lose the plant, you know, you didn't survive, something like that. You don't have to worry about that. So that's a good way. Now also, when you're starting your seeds, you want to just basically, guys, just go in the recycling, look for pots and things, and use the things that you have around the house. Use boxes. You know, like I drink cashew milk. This is my cashew milk thing. So this is what I'm going to, right here now, I'm planting celery seeds in my cashew container. I just cut it, and then when I finish, I'm just going to close it, so it becomes like a little mini greenhouse for my celery. Okay, the next thing, I'm planting my flowers. I'm planting all these cosmos here, and if you use these things, it is so good because you can plant even 3 flowers. You can do like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. You know, you can make 3 sections in this, and you can plant 3 different flowers instead of having 3 different pots in the same thing. And once they come up, you can just put them where they need to go. You know, this, I am going to plant some lettuce in here. So I'm going to plant 2 different varieties of lettuce, one on that side, one on that side. I'm just going to use my labeling, just, you know, put it here, label it. This one is going here, this one is going there. I know what's in there, and I don't have 2 different containers, the same container, and I am saving space. Right here, I already have some lettuce growing in here. See, they're starting to germinate. You can see them, they're tiny. But this is a food container and it broke on the side. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna use it to plant something. And I'm using the cover to keep the seedlings warm in there, okay? So if I was a beginner gardener, look, I have most of my plants growing here and I didn't use up a lot of space. When I'm ready to put my plants out on the patio, I just take them and transplant them in the container. And I just use a few containers. Like I have like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 containers. And I can grow about 15 different things in this container, just separating them. I can sow 2 different things, actually more, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21. Like I can grow 21 different things in just these little containers by separating the container in half. On one side, sow one set of seeds. On the other side, sow another set of seeds. Very easy and very simple to sow your seeds. So you don't have to go crazy, you know, buying all these pots and doing all that stuff. I didn't do that when I started in the beginning because I didn't have so much space in my house to put plants down. I didn't have like my window. I just had one sunny window, and of course I couldn't just block the window with plants. So I planted a few things, and then as the season gets warmer, I started putting things in the ground. But this is how you want to start your garden. The next thing you want to do, tell yourself is, I already said like growing pots, but you can also use other mediums. You can buy those grow bags. I think the second year I was growing, I grew in the recycled bags that you put your grocery in. I grew in grocery bags, and I think growing in grocery bags was so amazing. That time the grocery bags were like 50 cents. I think it was 50 cents for them or something like that. 25 cents. I don't remember exactly, but it was very cheap. So they were very cheap. And so I bought a couple of them. I just bend the handles in and I grow potatoes and different things inside them. I got them, they lasted for 2 seasons. 2 seasons, and I grew lots of food in those grocery bags. You know, that was my first 2 years because I wanted some extra space. I mean, on the side of my house, I had beds, you know, but I wanted to grow more stuff. I had pots that I got outside in the recycling, and I had a massive garden back and front. You know, I went out there, I walked in this conservation area, and I pick up logs of wood, and me and my kids drag it all the way to my backyard, and we made beds with those logs. We used pallets and we made raised beds. But it was just amazing growing food, you know, just in my tiny space, and I was amazed the amount of food that you can grow. So guys, you can grow food anywhere you are. Don't be discouraged. Don't say, oh, you know, you want something to be fancy, you want all this hanging planters, you want all this kind of stuff. Use what you have, recycle things. You can use plastic bottles. You can wrap twine around them if you want them to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. You can also paint them if you want. You can just buy acrylic paint and paint things if you want your things to be a different color. You can use, if you want to use stuff like that, you can add strings onto them and make like a hanging thing, and you could just paint the thing if you want it to be so, you know, pretty and whatever. But for me, I don't care. It doesn't matter what my container look like. What I want is good food inside the container. So me, I care about the soil I'm putting in my container and the seeds that I'm planting. So when I plant my seeds, I save the seeds, try to save as much seeds as I can for the next year, so I don't have to buy a lot of seeds as I buy the year before, or very minimal amount of seeds if I want to try something. So guys, you see, growing food is very easy. You just have to think outside of the box, and you just got to use what you have in front of you to grow food. And something that I explain a lot of stuff to you guys, please do not tell me that you don't know how to grow a garden. You can grow a garden. Take 1 pot and grow something. Take 2 pots and grow something. Take 3 pots and grow something. If it's just a flower you grow, start with something. If it's just a lettuce you grow, start with something. If it's just some beans you grow, start with something. But start with vegetables that are easy. Some vegetables that are very easy is peas, beans, lettuce, radish, and like you can grow some sunflower. Celery is easy to grow. There's a lot of things that is very, very easy to grow. Like pumpkins is very easy to grow. If you have a little balcony, just grow 1 or 2 pumpkins and just use one of those dollar store stake. And once a pumpkin go up the stake, bring it back down. Keep making it go up and down like in a circular motion, and it's gonna be fluffy, you know. But you're gonna get a couple of pumpkins. Don't plant all the pumpkins because you have a little balcony. Just plant one pumpkin, you will get pumpkin. When I started in my urban garden, I think I grew 3 pumpkins, three varieties of pumpkins. So I think I grew like 3 or 4 pumpkins, and I made this long trellis to go up like this, and I keep putting it up, bringing it back down. When it grow tall, I just put it back up, and I use some string like to hold up the pumpkins once they come out, and then I just use some string to tie the vines, and it was good. They didn't break. I just made sure the stick was sturdy and the container was big. I used a big container to grow the pumpkin in, and I got pumpkins, you know, and I had a small space. So guys, you can grow things. I don't want to hear any of you saying you can't grow anything and you don't have the space. You do have the space. Grow something on your step. Grow something. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something. I'm gonna try to, you know, include some little pictures and show you guys some things. I have to go find some pictures for you guys to show you things that I grew in my garden, my first urban home. But I'm gonna show you things that I grew there. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. So ciao. Mwah, mwah. See you in the next one.